now we are going to start with a new chapter, that is the chemical bonding, right. So what we have seen, like here in this chapter we are going to learn more about the chemical bond which form a basis of the chemistry. So as you all know, like first question, my first question to you is that what is an atom? What is an atom actually? So what atom is the smallest particle of matter? Atom is a smallest particle of matter. We say that it is formed of nuclei and surrounded by electrons. This is what we say, that atom is the smallest particle of matter consisting of nuclei, and obviously it is surrounding by the electrons. So I will just draw a model for an atom for you. So let us say we are drawing it for sodium. So we say that here it is going to have protons 11, neutrons 12, and here is going to be my first shell, second shell, and my third shell consisting of 2 electrons, 8 electrons, 1 electrons, because we know that sodium has atomic number 11. So likewise this is the distribution. So this is what is an atom. So that means atom form a smallest particle of a matter which is found to consist of this is my nucleus, and it is surrounding by the electrons. So as we have seen that this atom do not exist independently. Atom do not exist independently, or you can say they exist in a cluster. That means 2 or more atoms, or they just cling to each other in order to form a one species. And you know that one species has a characteristic property. So that is called as molecule. So that means we have a molecule. So what is molecule? It is you can say it is an aggregation of atoms in order to exist as one species, one chemical species with characteristic properties. So this is what we have a molecule. So that means the atoms do not exist independently, but the molecule exists independently. That means a single atom cannot exist independently, but the cluster of atoms, when they combine to each other in order to form one chemical species, or you can say that is called as molecule, it can exist independently. This is what we have in molecule. So I am just drawing the molecule for you. So let us say that this is a molecule for oxygen, this is a molecule for nitrogen, this is a molecule for carbon dioxide, this is a molecule for water, right. So this is what we have. So that means we can see that oxygen do not exist as O, it exists as O2. Likewise, nitrogen do not exist as N, it exists as N2. That means nitrogen molecule. Carbon dioxide do not exist as C or O, it exists as CO2. And likewise, water exists as H2O. So that means it is clear that the atom cannot have an independent existence, but the molecule can have an independent existence. What is an atom formed of? It is formed of a nuclei surrounded by electrons. And what is the constituent of molecule? Obviously it is they are the atoms. That is, they are the group of atoms that just cling to each other. That group can be made up of 2 atoms, can be more than 2 atoms, depending upon the stability, but definitely it is going to possess more than 1 atom. So this is what is the molecule. Now as I've told you many examples related to the molecule. So here you can see that 2 atoms, they are just combined with each other. 2 nitrogens is combined to form one chemical species. Here 1 C and 2 O combined to form one chemical species. 1 O and 2 H combined to form one chemical species. So what is actually there? Like how they are linked up? That linkage, that means the linkage which is holding the atoms together in the molecule is called as something chemical bond. Is called as something chemical bond. So what is chemical bond? It is the linkage. And what is that linkage actually? It is the attractive force. It is the attractive force. It is a linkage, that is the attractive force that is trying to hold various atoms or ions together in a chemical species. So this is what we have, a chemical bond. Now the reason is that like many scientists when came to know about the chemical bond, they were looking after the answers for many questions, that why do atoms combine, like what is the need that oxygen do not exist as O, but rather it exists as O2. What is the reason behind that? Like why it is existing as O2, why not O? or why nitrogen cannot exist as N, why it is existing as N2. So that means they needed an answer to the question that what is the reason behind the combination, why atoms form molecule. Why atoms form molecule, or what is the need for the linkage, what is the need for the linkage. And okay, if there has to be a linkage, we get an answer related to the linkage, then how they are linking, what is the method that is linking them together in a molecule, how they are linking. And likewise, there were many questions which were just knocking the mind of different people, that why this combination is different. Like as I saw you that oxygen I put 2 chemical bonds, and in nitrogen I put 3 chemical bonds, and likewise in water I put single bond and with 2 electrons. What is the reason that I have shown these electrons, or you can say why these combinations are different. So everybody was you can say running behind the answers, because they just wanted to know, they were so curious to know that why atoms combine actually, what is the reason behind the combination, or what is the process of the combination, or many blah blah questions which must be striking your mind also, right. And like for them, the scientists just started looking for the answers, and like the different theories were put on in order to make you understand about those unanswered questions. So the theories which were put forward, which we are going to study in this chapter, or which form the basis of this chapter, is these theories. So the first theory which was put forward in order to make you understand about the chemical bond was the Coastal-Lewis theory. Right. And the second theory was the valence shell electron pair repulsion theory. Keep in mind that the first attempt was made by the Lewis. And you know that when the first attempt was made, the quantum approach was not developed. That means the Schrodinger wave equation or an orbital concept was not there. We were just aware of the Bohr model. So depending upon that, the Lewis or Coastal just put forward the theory, just considering the Bohr model. That is this one. Then the time passes, there were few limitations to this Coastal and Lewis theory we will be studying now, and after that we came to a theory like the VSPR theory, which is valence shell electron pair repulsion theory, right. Then like later we came to know about the quantum approach, and you know that what this quantum approach wanted to say. They just said that energy is a stress factor. Energy is a stress factor. This is what they meant by conducting a various experiments or not. What is the conclusion for this quantum approach was that lesser is the energy, more is going to be the stability. Lesser is the energy, more is going to be stability, or you can say in another language, they consider energy as a stress to an atom. And they said that more and more the stress is released, more and more you can say the stability is achieved. So that means less is the energy, it corresponds to the state of the maximum stability. So keeping into consideration, the two more theories were proposed, that is the valence bond theory and molecular orbital theory. These theories are worldwide accepted, and now we are going to study that what actually these theories were and why these theories were put forward, and what they actually postulated, and what are the limitations that they couldn't cover up in their theories, right. So this is what is this thing. And one more thing you need to write in your copies, that what actually is a chemical bond, because this is very important, because we are learning these theories only just to know about the chemical bond. So what is that? It is the linkage between, and the linkage is obviously going to be an attractive linkage. It is a linkage between various atoms or ions that are holding these atoms or ions together in a chemical species. So this is what we are going to know now. Now we are going to start with the theories, and we are going to start with the first theory, that is the Coastal-Lewis theory.